welcome back to the Tea and a Buddy podcast. I'm Dominic.
And I'm Erica.
And today's episode is a news roundup.
News roundup.
News roundup
Seems
for you
like
all.
we just did a news roundup.
We just did one last month, I think, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, just a couple
The
of
monthly.
episodes ago.
Maybe it was a couple of episodes. I don't know.
Even so.
We've kind of...
We have things we want to talk about.
Yes. we've shaved it down a little bit.
You're just going to say
Shaved.
we've shaved and we want to talk.
We've shaved down the episodes, I was going to say, a little bit. So, we're not doing as many. We're only doing like one a week now, so...
Yeah, but I mean, I think we've been doing that the whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Every Tuesday.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to talk about a few things that have happened in the news this past month or week or whatever,
Yeah.
And what we've been doing, and we'll.
I don't know if we're going to talk about what we've been doing.
Yes, we are.
We've been shaving, apparently.
We've been shaving, and we've been preparing. So it's very exciting things that are happening here.
Yes.
Let's
all go.
We recently watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix.
Oh, gosh,
well, the first
yes.
3 episodes of it, anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
It came out on Thursday?
yeah, and I think this Thursday, the next 3 are dropping.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Which
I
are
think
the
it's
final.
The final ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently there's going to be an explosive finale for it or something. I don't know. That's what people are thinking, anyway.
What? Like a literal explosion. They're just like, you know what, we're done with this.
3, 2,
They just-
1,
They just push, they just pushed
blow up the whole
just
thing.
push the handle down on the Acme bomb. And
Yes. I mean, that's what it's like at this point, isn't it? I mean, really, the first 3 episodes, they didn't really say too much that we hadn't already heard. It was kind of just their story, really. And which is what they wanted to tell, is like, oh, we're sick of the press saying this and that, and, that's not true, and this isn't true, so we're coming out with our story as it is.
To be fair to them,
Yeah.
I think they both came across quite sympathetic.
Yeah, there was... Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, at this point... Because a lot of the haters are going to jump on certain moments in it, where she was kind of like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, what are they? Tell me exactly, because I haven't really seen people talking about it that much. What are they hating on?
There's not too much to hate on, so there's not too much to go on, really.
Yeah. I did see one headline where somebody was saying that she mocked the Queen and Harry just sat and watched in silence.
The curtsy story.
Okay, yeah.
When she first
we don't
met
want to
the Queen.
spoil this for you, so maybe if you're planning on watching and you haven't watched it,
if you haven't watched it yet,
this part.
Skip this part.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know
Yeah.
when we're done talking about it. But yeah, there's the curtsy story of when she first met the Queen. She was kind of... They were in the back of a car or something going up to Royal Lodge or something.
Yeah, I mean, she brought it up during the Oprah interview.
She brought it up.
Not a new story.
It's not a new story, but they kind of like spoke about it in this. And H... Yeah, that's one of the things. H and M.
Okay, you know how I said they came across quite sympathetic. That I find that very obnoxious. I don't know why.
H.
I mean,
and M.
What, somebody on NPR, wasn't it, said, oh, maybe they're, what was it? It looks, it's a play on the store, because the relationship looks really good, but it won't last very long. Oh my God, I could not believe that.
Yes.
I mean, it was a joke, obviously.
It was a joke, yeah. Like fast fashion,
Yeah, yes.
Fast royal relationships, But no, they call each other H&M,
Yeah.
Probably to go by, that's their code words.
I guess so.
When their security are talking, it's like, oh, H is leaving now. So M needs to
But referring to each
there.
other as H and M.
H and M are leaving now.
In the interview.
Because they had a lot of footage of them in the back of a car being
like if
chased by a paparazzi.
It's like if I called you baby all the time instead of Dominic.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then baby came in and, you know, blah, blah, blah in the interview. It would just be, it's just very like.
And then baby came in.
Yeah.
And we all said hello to baby.
Yeah.
And it was a very nice dinner because baby ate all his food.
Yeah. Then had a little nap.
And then he had a little nap. Poor baby.
No.
It's all tuckered out.
But you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
it's the equivalent of that. It's
yes.
like, just call each other by your name. I don't
yes.
know. I mean, you guys...
Well, she calls him Haz sometimes as well.
You guys
or Hazza.
You guys know how I feel about nicknames, if you heard our nickname podcast anyway. So, I'm not a huge nickname person. Maybe that's why I don't like it. I mean, what do you think? How does it make you feel hearing
that's
say
them,
H
isn't it? H&M, you know. H&M, yeah, you know, that's
maybe
who we
they're
are.
being funny.
Meg. Everyone calls me Meg.
Maybe it is funny to them that their initials are H and M, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, going back to the story, yeah, it's just basically she was retelling the story, and she says, oh, Harry said to me, we were going up to meet his grandmother, and Harry says, you know how to curtsy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he was joking.
Yeah.
And we get there, and it's all... Because I didn't know you had to, like, bow before someone's grandmother. Like, oh, and she made, like, a big show of it.
Yes.
That was about the part where everybody came unglued and said, she has just died, and Harry, oh, how dare you let this happen? You know, control your wife, Harry. Oh.
I guess that was sort of... It was making fun, and it did last a little bit long, and it did become a little bit awkward, I suppose.
Yes, it was a little bit awkward, because, I mean, this...
Because he didn't laugh. She was making jokes sometimes, and he never laughed at them.
He's not... Well, no, he's not laughing, because he's kind of been reserved. He's kind of like, yeah, I don't find this weird, because I grew up with it.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, I can't just like, oh, yeah, you're right, Meg. It is weird.
Yeah.
Even though he's kind of...
He gets it.
He gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it's
like
weird for
American.
other people.
Yeah.
Well, not just American. It's just like... It's...
But especially because she's American.
Maybe.
You know,
but it's like people who... You know, the thing is people think... British people or people with royal families, oh, they get it. They, you know, oh, yes.
People with royal families.
Well, you know, like countries with royal families, the people in there, they just automatically get it. But it's like you could be living. It's like, oh, I'm not bowing to the Queen. I'm not bowing to Charles. You know, I'm not. What are you talking about? You know.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people who are just like, that's a bit silly. I'm not going to get
people
into
in the country, not in the country. Royal family.
Well, not in the. Yeah, it's probably people in the royal family too think it. But it's...
Edward's just there like, I'm not bowing to the Queen. Who do you think I am?
No, it's... You know, he's grown up with it. He gets the tradition. And I think he also knows, yeah, this is my family.
Yeah.
And it's not... And it's just, this is my family, but they're also... I know that there's a lot of support for them.
Yeah.
Hence why they're still a thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, all this, like, making fun and all this, it kind of looks a bit... you know, tactless for me to laugh at it. So I'm not going to laugh at it. Yeah. And so she's making herself look more awkward, going, stupid, bowing, and who bows to someone's grandmother, right? Right, Harry, right?
Yeah.
Why aren't you laughing? Laugh, Harry, laugh! You know? And he's just like, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Definitely weird.
Yeah, I mean, I get where she's coming from, and obviously, you know, we agree. Yeah, if you look at it like she's not the queen, she's just his grandmother. Yeah, it's a bit.
Yes,
it's a
that's
bit
what
weird,
she was thinking of.
That's what she's thinking, and she's trying to make light of it and stuff. But the fact that she just the whole thing of her like. She really drew it out, you know, the joke, and then the fact that Harry didn't laugh and stuff.
Well, there's several things
so,
where
like,
he was just like, "Oh, this was
cringe.
a bit weird, right?" You know, and he didn't laugh, and he didn't say, "Yeah, it was weird." Yeah. You know? It was just kind of like, yeah, she has, you know, the whole kind of moral of that story was, Meghan thought she wanted the fame. Yeah. But was not prepared for it.
Yeah.
In any sense of it.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, oh, you know, like they showed clips. They were like vlogging, but she also showed like personal phone footage that she took on the night that Harry proposed.
Yeah.
And she was FaceTiming her friend going, oh my god, I think he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Oh, he's going to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and oh, it's Prince Harry. Oh, you know, like her friends and her, you know, it was very set up like a Hallmark film.
I found
her story was.
I found the parts where they were like vlogging to be a bit awkward and also
that was
when they
left. They thought, oh well, we've got to do this because this is our story.
Yeah, because it's like
the press are going to twist this.
Well, it's
and
like
the family are going to plant a story, and we're not going to be able to tell our own story about this.
It's like they were obviously planning on doing this for a long time.
Well,
because
Netflix or whatever. Yeah,
those like vlogs, they seem to have been from quite a while ago, you know. So
they were from
they were planning on
2020, 21.
2020, I would say, yeah, and before.
And they're like phone footage, and it's just kind of like little bits of stuff.
Yeah.
Where Harry's like, oh, it's July 25th, and I don't know, what is it, Wednesday? I don't know, you know, but yeah, we've just left now, and we've done it. Mm-hmm. We've left the family, and we're moving to Canada.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know.
I found his interviews very interesting, actually. And so I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of what he's saying in the book. And I'm a little bit like, what was the reason for doing this interview? Like, what else is he going to tell us in the book that he's not saying? Well, this
is just his story. The Netflix documentary was
their story.
Their story.
I know, but I mean, he's talking about personal things like his mother and when she died, and because being hounded by the paparazzi.
No offense to Meghan.
Yeah.
You know. Nobody cares really about her story.
Well, no, I was looking a little bit online.
So they need they want to know about the juicy gossip about, what was going on in, your life.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking.
It was a ratings hit for Netflix, too.
I was looking online and everybody was like, because I can't remember what it was in reference to, but everybody was going, oh, nobody knew who she was before nobody in America knew who she was.
She was on Suits.
Yeah.
She was, and from what the story kind of elaborates on, it seems like her mother might have been a stage mother.
Yeah, you kind of get that vibe.
You get that vibe that they were trying to get her famous.
Apparently her dad was a lighting engineer or something.
Oh, he was on Married with Children. He was on the set of Married with Children. She goes, and I used to go to Married with Children set, and I used to just love hanging out in the set. I thought, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. And so she wrote that awkward, cringy. I thought that was so cringe, too, when she met up with some elementary school teacher, I think it was.
Yeah, that was a bit
And she had
awkward.
written her a letter, and the teacher made her read it. And there was a line in it, something about when I become rich and famous and everyone knows my name or something like that.
I'll make sure they know about you.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay.
So this was an end goal. And I mean, not knocking her for that. Everybody has that kind of dream, like becoming rich and famous.
I don't know if everybody.
Well, not everybody, but like it's a common one,
Yeah, I suppose
when
so.
I'm rich and famous and
I guess so, yeah. But it was awkward that the teacher made her read it.
Yes, because it makes it look like, I'm validated now. Look, I've got Netflix. And,
I thought it was kind of funny
I'm married
Netflix
to a prince.
included that because you feel like this being their kind of gig, they would have control over what goes in the documentary and stuff. And I would definitely, had that been me, I would have said, you do not
Harry
include
and Meghan
that part.
I think they had full editorial control of it.
Yeah.
In a lot of it. They had final say, shall we say.
Yeah.
But Netflix did the creative bits of we're going to interview this person and you can't stop us.
I wonder about
that. If you throw a fit, the whole documentary's off.
We should have done a bit of research as to, and let us know, anybody listening that has read something somewhere about it, because I was curious if they were, if they had any involvement in the people who were interviewed. If they said, "Oh, be sure." Well, I'm sure they picked.
No, they had Meghan's friends.
Them,
they had a couple of people like David Olusoga, I think his name is, and he was talking about the racial aspect of the British media.
Oh yeah,
and their hatred towards Meghan, and the tide turning, you know.
Yeah.
Because they talked about, oh, it was great, you know, when it was first announced that we were together, because, you know, and there was a wedding, everyone was excited, and I was like,
and they showed clips of
and it's funny
interviews
because
with
he
people,
keeps
and
saying,
everybody was excited.
oh, I was really glad I found someone who can be so at ease in that, you know, can make it look easy.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, yeah, you clearly didn't, obviously, because she didn't find it easy. She needed to get away from all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
let's be real, and I don't think it's ugly to say, but she was a B-list celebrity, and she went overnight, literally, from being that
to being one of the most famous women in the world.
In the world.
Yes.
In the world. That's like above A-list, right?
Yes.
It's above A-list when pretty much everybody, wherever you go in the world, knows your name suddenly.
Yes.
You know? And that's a lot. I would imagine that is a lot.
Because I think she
know?
was happy on Suits. You know, she was, I haven't seen the show, so I think she was kind of like a supporting character. Her character was, but she was kind of known, and the fans of Suits knew who she was, and so, you know, she'd do like press for them, and, you know, she'd hang out and take photos, and just like that level of fame was comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's like she could have probably graduated up that ladder to, like, you know, lead in a movie or whatever, and, you know, kind of got a bit more fame, like, you know, like A-list celebrity. But, you know, seeing Prince Harry and all that and getting with him, it's like, boom, that you're in there already. It's like, that's it. You're gonna get, and you know, you're gonna be attacked, because it's like, you're not being attacked. You're being attacked by the British press for who you are. You know.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, not because, oh, you play a character on TV that people don't like or whatever. You know, it's because of you've married this guy and you think you can come in and shake it up and all this kind of stuff.
I mean, speaking of that, like, one thing I said when we were watching it, like, a vibe I was getting was that she thought it was sort of like a Hallmark movie or Princess Diaries or something. Like, she thought, oh, okay. You know, she tells this story about meeting Kate Middleton for the first time.
Yes.
And she was in her...
she was barefoot.
Meghan
was barefoot. She was cooking something,
in, like, jeans or sweatpants or something. Like, she was very casual. And she met her, and she said she hugged her, and that she could tell Kate was just a little bit, like, taken aback by that. Because she figured it was going to be, oh, they're all like, oh, yes, very prim and proper, wave, wave, wave. The doors closing, oh, thank God, that's all over. Yeah. What's that all about, Kick off our shoes,
Kick off our shoes.
We're suddenly, like, different people,
you know. Open the bottle of wine, neck it, you know. Curry night, you know. Yeah. Watch the football.
And it's just like, no, they have to be on like that so often, so frequently.
It's ingrained.
That they are that way, you know. And she, I guess, had
Meghan the is a little bit more bubbly than Kate. Yeah, you know, and it's just like, oh, you know what, you know.
She thought it was going to be a lot more casual and relaxed, like just hanging at Harry's house than it was. And I think that we talked about that. We had sort of that impression even after the Oprah interview.
Yeah.
We thought, oh, she doesn't realize, like, that was the whole curtsying thing in front of the Queen. She didn't realize she was going to have to do that, just going to lunch, you know.
She thought that was all for the cameras. Yes. And then as soon as you get into the green room, or, you know, as soon as the cameras stop rolling.
Yeah.
It's,
when there's nobody there but family.
They're not actors.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're not actors. They're this is actually what they do.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like
this is their
life.
They
can turn it off.
Yeah. And so I kept getting this vibe throughout the 3 parts that she thought this was some sort of Hallmark movie or like Princess Diaries or something, and she thought she was going to go in there and maybe get some looks from people, maybe get some whispers, oh, the American, you know, oh, look at her, she's so loud, oh, she hugs, how weird is that, oh, you know, but her personality was just going to win everybody over. And by the end of the movie, they'd all be dancing in their socks and pajamas in the ballroom together. You know, she'd have all these stuffy British people just like having a party to some popular
Charles and Camilla
pop song.
in their pajamas dancing away in the ballroom.
Yeah, like,
Can you imagine it?
Sliding across the floor like, way, whoa, you know. She thought it was going to be
and then the
like
credits
that.
would roll, you know, because the camera would pan out from the ballroom and out of the window in the house and everything. And it was like, do.
Yeah.
A princess for Christmas,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, she thought she'd be like, what? You have other people put up your Christmas decorations? No. And she'd take them outside and they'd chop down a tree together and drag it in the house.
Yes.
And she'd have everybody, like, decorating the tree, you know. She thought it was going to be like that. And
yes. Like the Princess Diary.
Yeah.
She thought it was going to be like that.
So there's definitely, like, I have a little bit more, like, understanding of who she is. Like, I think a lot of people think, oh, she's just this evil person who came in and she wants to take Harry away from his family. And she wants all the fame. She wants all the fame and she wants all the
She does like her attention.
She likes attention. What actress doesn't? You're not an actress if you don't want attention.
But as I said, she would have been more comfortable with the role that she eventually got now. She
was just very naive. I mean,
it was a naive type thing, yeah.
And there doesn't really
and
need
I think
to
Harry
be
was too.
There doesn't really need to be another 3 parts. It's like, okay, we get it, you know.
Because it will, this is.
But anyway, we better move on. We spent a lot of time on that.
Yeah, Harry and Meghan on Netflix is going to end soon. So don't worry about
the next 3 parts come out on Thursday for anybody interested. Yeah.
We're going to move on now. Zing. That was the. Well, I'm not even going to put. I'm not even going to put it in. I'm just going to leave it a shing to the World Cup. The World Cup news for all you sports fans out there that listen in, because I know you're out there. I know you like it.
Yeah.
No, there's 4 teams left, and on Tuesday it's Argentina versus Croatia, and then on Wednesday it's France versus Morocco. England went out against France.
Oh, it was a good game.
2-1.
It was a good game.
It was a good game, and, you know, I do think that the ref probably was a little bit... I mean, he gave 2 penalties away to England, and Kane missed the second one, but...
Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to probably have to live with that, like Gareth Southgate had to live with his miss.
No.
But it's okay. I mean, these things happen, you know.
I'm kind of sold, you guys. I mean, soccer is very, like, it's quite exciting. I don't know if... I'm wondering, like, could I get into just regular season games? I don't know if I might find them a bit more boring, but...
Yeah,
these tournaments and these...
The World Cup is probably the limit for me. Maybe the European Championships, too, I'd watch.
Yeah, it's quite fun.
I mean, we watched it last time.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if we mentioned last time. I don't know if America was already out. I think they were. But America is also out.
America, they lost to the Netherlands. Netherlands lost to Argentina by the skin of their teeth as well. Argentina went through.
Argentina's got the player that I think everybody says is the best
GOAT,
player right now.
The greatest of all time.
Oh, of all time.
Yeah,
it's not just living.
That's what they say about Cristiano Ronaldo too. Oh, the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Portugal are out too. They went out to Morocco, funnily enough.
Yeah.
So that's Ronaldo's World Cup dreams over, because I don't think he'll be back for the next one.
Oh, no, I didn't tell you. I saw a headline that
he's retiring.
He put on Instagram, that he's retiring. Apparently.
Yeah. So, and I mean... This team...
Cristiano Ronaldo, if you don't follow soccer at all, you probably have heard his name because everybody thinks he's hot.
He played for Manchester United, and, you know, he's got a diva-like attitude about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said he went off the field crying after
Portugal
lost.
After Portugal lost, everybody was like, oh, he wasn't going to stay on the field and congratulate Morocco or console his teammates. He's just going to go off crying by himself. But maybe it's because
he knew he was going to retire. And he was like, oh, that was my last chance.
Last chance for a World Cup medal.
Yeah. And that would be, you know, if you spent your whole life, like, that was your job and that was your life, you know, that would be pretty upsetting, I suppose.
He started the game on the bench because of some outburst he'd had, so the manager was like, the manager, some outburst he'd had, I don't know what it was, but the Portuguese manager was like, okay, you're starting the quarterfinal on the bench then.
Oh my God.
And so, you know, he brought him on late in the game,
Yeah.
I guess. But it was 1-0 to Morocco, and Morocco are could be the first African team to ever win the World Cup, I think.
I think they said that they're the first African team ever to make it to the semifinals.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I think we'll probably be cheering for them, actually.
Yeah, they play Croatia and they play France. Argentina versus playing Croatia on Tuesday, so that's the semi-finals, and whoever wins those both matches goes to the final.
But what is this story that you texted me this morning about a cat?
the cat. This is about the England squads. When the England squad turned up in Qatar, their camp, their hotel.
Yeah.
One of the players, John Stones, and said, first day we got to our camp, there's like this little table, where all the players have dinner each evening, together and whatever, and this cat popped out. And so he was just hanging out there waiting for his food. It's like, oh yeah, you're getting served food, so I'm here too,
Yeah.
And so they quickly adopted him.
I think they filmed it, didn't they?
They filmed it. They've been updating their social medias with it,
okay,
so everybody's been like, oh, and they named the cat Dave.
Dave.
Big Dave, because it's like, oh, that's his name now. And so, the team has like adopted him as their mascot and everything, and they said, if we win this, Dave's coming home with us.
Aww.
And, they crashed out. They didn't, but they said Dave is still coming home.
Oh,
he's going.
Cute.
Yeah, so the team has left Qatar now, but Dave is going to have his vaccinations and thing. And
he was just a little street cat, I assume.
He was a street cat, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he'd apparently
he's not somebody's cat. Like,
no, he's
just like, oh, sorry.
we just stole your cat. The England team just stole your cat. No, I mean, he's a stray cat because, and apparently got into a fight before the France game, and they were all like, oh, no,
Yeah.
It's getting all wound up. But yeah, no, he's just him and one of the other guys on the team, Kyle Walker, who they both play for the same team back in England, Manchester City. And so they kind of adopted Dave, and they feed him and stuff like that. And, every time, he pops on the table, he was popping on the table at dinner, Bukayo Saka was jumping, So yeah, Dave, he's going home, and they were like, yeah, he's definitely coming home with us, even though we didn't win the World Cup.
Yeah.
But yeah. I do think they could have gone to the semi-finals. This has been a really good team, England. They crashed out of the final against Italy, thanks to those penalties, which I thought it was going to go down to as well.
Yeah. Well, the penalties
France.
that Harry Kane kicked were up against his own teammate.
His own teammate, yes. I mean, this is the thing. It's probably kind of alien to someone who plays, like, American football or, like, who follows sports in the US that, like, all these players know each other because they play on the same team back home. But when a tournament's on, they have to like, I'm signed up for Argentina and you're signed up for England and we're playing against each other. So it's kind of like, it makes it a little bit more interesting because, I know how you play, you know how I play.
Yeah.
So we've got to find a way around that to score goals against each other.
The announcers said, they practice these.
They practice these together,
yeah.
So it's kind of like
him at the goal and him kicking the ball, and so yeah.
So yeah, you can see that, like, when Kane took the second penalty, there was some kind of mind games going on from the keeper because they're allowed to do that, to shout and go, whoa,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think because I vaguely remember. I think the South African keeper, Bruce Grobbelaar, back in the 80s used to do that. He used to do, like, spaghetti legs when he was on the line. And people were like, oh, no, he can't do that. That's wrong. And I was like, well, there's nothing in the rules that says he can't, like, freak out a player before he takes the penalty, you know? But he'd just be like, like, which way am I going to go? Which way are you going to go? I'm going to save this, Yeah. So, yeah.
It's funny. Are there any situations where England plays as a team, like when something like the World Cup is not going on?
Yeah, they play friendly matches against countries every once in a while. Yeah,
that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I presume they're televised somewhere, but probably not here.
Yeah.
The USA does it. All the countries do it. It's like it's not like they just World Cup and European Championships and that's it.
Yeah.
They do play friendlies.
Friendlies.
That's what they call it, friendlies against the Netherlands or whatever, just to keep their rankings within FIFA.
Oh, yeah.
And then, when a World Cup comes around, they'll do a qualifying
stages. World Cup is
stages.
like the Olympics, right? It's only every 4 years.
Every 4 years, yeah. And you've got to qualify for it.
Mm.
So they play qualifying games, and England qualified, and,
Yeah.
It's the next one is 2026.
Oh, and it's here, isn't it?
Well, it's going to be here. It's shared between...
Not in Austin, but...
Shared between Canada, Mexico, and the US. So it's the first time 3 countries have hosted it simultaneously. Yeah. I don't know where, because it'll be I guess it'll be 2 groups. Because, they group teams together. There'll be groups of players playing in one country and another group playing in another,
Yeah.
So say, England do qualify, which they might not. You never know, but they could be playing at stadiums in the US,
Yeah.
And that should be back to summer as well. Because this whole tournament has been mired in controversy from,
Oh, yeah.
They didn't really want to hold it in Qatar in the first place, but it had been agreed upon years before.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And then they changed it to winter time.
Yeah, well, they had to.
Because Qatar would have been 200 degrees. Yeah. Anyway. Moving swiftly along.
Yeah.
Jing.
I was going to say, we need the transition music again.
Jing! Nando's is coming to Dallas.
Yay!
Yes, you love Nando's, don't you?
Yeah, well, I say yay because Dallas is only 3 hours from here. So.
Well, Houston's only 3.
Well, yeah, 2.5.
And they're apparently opening 2 in Houston, in Katy.
That's even closer.
Yeah, they've got next year they're going to be opening up a restaurant. Which, if you're not familiar with Nando's, it's a South African, born restaurant.
Yeah.
It's famous for its peri-peri chicken, which is like a spicy chicken, and chicken and chips, chicken and fries.
I wonder if they're going to have halloumi here.
Well, they might. They've got to, because that's a staple of.
Yeah, that's like that's the
Nando's.
thing that you go to Nando's for. Well, that's the thing I go to Nando's for anyway.
Well, yeah, because you first had it back in 2014, didn't you?
We don't know when though. Just 2023 in
Late
general.
spring 2023.
Oh, okay.
Which is about the time we'll make our surprise announcement that we're going there.
Yes.
We're moving to Dallas. Yeah, because it's apparently people are like, oh, it's not going to be in Dallas. It's going to be in this place called Addison, which is
everything.
It's all Dallas. Grapevine,
even Fort Worth is Dallas to me.
Yeah. And yeah, it's been a huge thing in the UK for years now.
Yeah, you tweeted at them, didn't you? You were like, "Oh, come to Austin,"
and they responded with, "Oh, watch this space."
Yeah,
so they may make another announcement.
We were talking about it. I was like, "Oh, it's probably Dallas and Houston because they're like international hubs."
International hubs, yeah.
So people will have been to other places where there are Nando's, probably more likely in Dallas or Houston. But, Austin's got international flights now.
Yes, they're coming up to international flights.
Yeah.
So there's that.
So yay.
So yay for Nando's coming, yeah. I'll be looking forward to having a Nando's.
Yeah, we don't have any other chicken place like that. So
no, you don't.
All of our chicken places are like fried chicken. Basically.
Yeah, they're like Chick-fil-A and all that. That's
Do they even have fried chicken in Nando's? Like fried?
Deep fried?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, right? It's just grilled?
I don't know. They update their menu a lot.
Yeah.
So, and it's been years since we've had it, so.
Yeah.
So, Nando's are coming to Texas. Zing! Moving swiftly along. A license was granted in California to own a unicorn to a little girl.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep. Girl named Madeline, with a vivid imagination and remarkable awareness of how bureaucracy can dash dreams, got a wish when she asked Los Angeles Animal Control authorities for a license to own a unicorn, if she's able to find one. And apparently, the first of its kind permit came with strings attached. The mythical creature must be provided ample exposure to sunlight, moonbeams, and rainbows, and have its horn polished at least once a month with a soft cloth.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
So yes, it's a permanent unicorn license they granted to this girl, and there's 5 conditions. The 5 conditions are: for unicorn ownership, also require that any sparkles or glitter sprinkled on the animal be non-toxic and biodegradable, and that it be fed watermelon at least once a week. Does they like watermelon?
Do unicorns like watermelon?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I don't know.
The funny thing is, right, the national animal of Scotland is the unicorn.
Yes.
So they must exist. If Scotland knows something, you see?
Yeah.
The department's response came after the girl wrote it a brief letter last month saying, "Dear LA County, I would like your approval if I can have a unicorn in my backyard if I can find one."
How old?
I think she was about 5 or 6.
Oh my god.
It doesn't say here.
That's so cute.
But yeah, no, it's a cute little story. And the other story is New York is looking for someone to deal with its rat problem.
Oh my god, I saw a video.
And there were so many rats?
Well, no, it was somebody filming. You know how New York does the Christmas displays in their windows?
Oh, what? They had a rat display, did they?
No, but there was a rat just like jumping around and climbing all over everything, and somebody was just filming it there. Like, oh, look at the rat.
Look at that rat. Look at that rat in the window. He's having a great
What's
time.
What happened? Because they used to be known for rats, obviously, like
yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle times.
Yeah,
you know,
they
it was
had
like
Splinter.
they had the big rat problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you didn't hear anything about rats in New York City for years.
Apparently,
where'd they go? They took a vacation somewhere for a few years.
The official job title is Director of Rodent Mitigation, and it was probably dubbed the Rat Czar, you know.
Oh yeah.
And salary range is 120,000 to 170,000. The ideal candidate is highly motivated and somewhat bloodthirsty, determined to look at all solutions from various angles, including improving operational efficiency, data collection, technology innovation, trash management, and wholesale slaughter.
Oh, God.
I mean, the posting is
Merry
whimsical.
Christmas.
But, yeah, I mean, they've been a multi-million, you know, the rats have survived a multi-million-dollar effort.
Yeah.
Under Bill de Blasio to get rid of them.
Something has to be done, though, doesn't it? Like, you can't just because they multiply so rapidly. And it's just like you can't, and they carry disease and stuff. Like, you can't just let them run rampant.
They've apparently been increasing parks, sidewalks, and other places in New York City. There's been sightings of them. Well,
my mom was just there like a couple of months ago, and she said they saw them, and that was her first. And she's been to New York several times, and she was like, that was her first time seeing them out. We saw one in San Antonio.
We saw one, and it was by the river.
It was by the river,
you know, it was like.
But
and we saw a big rat. He was just like he
didn't really run from what I remember.
He kind of ran because he was under the bridge.
Yeah.
So and he kind of ran when we were coming closer to him. He was like, "No, you don't see me." But yeah, no. Apparently they're just hanging out in New York City with because apparently they have a lot of like garbage strikes.
Yeah.
So the trash gets left up.
Yeah.
So it's just like the rats are just like, well, we're just hanging out here for the next garbage strike, you know?
Yeah. We are waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, to round off this news roundup, talking about the deaths. Recent deaths of Kirstie Alley and Ruth Maddock. I mean, Kirstie Alley...
Yeah, you'll have to say who Ruth Maddock is first.
Ruth Maddock was, she died in hospital on Friday afternoon. after surgery for a fall she'd had. She was best known as Gladys Pugh in the 1980s comedy Heidi High, about a holiday camp in the late 50s. That may have aired on PBS over here, I'm not sure. But it was quite popular in the UK.
She was a British actress.
British actress, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then Kirstie Alley.
Yeah.
She died after battling colon cancer, wasn't it?
Yeah. She had,
She was 71.
She hadn't been diagnosed for too long, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, she made her film debut in Star Trek The Wrath of Khan, but she found fame in 1987 playing Rebecca Howe on Cheers.
Yeah.
And
classic.
And then she starred in the Look Who's Talking
films
with John Travolta, and she was in Veronica's Closet as well.
Yeah, that was.
But I mean, I don't know.
She was great. Yeah. That was. I mean, she was only 71, so that's fairly young.
It was a bit of a shock because I mean, she hadn't disclosed that she'd been ill or anything. So yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. I think we've talked before about how we don't understand how Cheers wasn't like a big hit.
Well,
in the UK.
I mean, it came on Channel 4 and stuff.
Did it?
Yeah, it came on Channel 4. I mean, pretty much everything that aired over here came on Channel 4. It became like the American network.
But you would have thought it would have been quite popular over there, considering it's...
Maybe, yeah.
Cheers, the bar, was essentially very like a pub, you know?
Yes.
People just had regulars and people just sat around talking.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, Frasier was popular, the spin-off show.
Yeah.
That was very popular,
that's right, yeah.
So, Cheers must have been, but I guess...
if Kirstie Alley ever appeared in Frasier.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. But not to leave on deaths, let's just talk about the two little Netflix Christmas movies.
The two cutest Christmas Netflix movies we watched. Yeah.
I don't know about the cutest, but...
They were the cutest. They were the cutest.
But if you're in need of something new to watch, one was Falling for Christmas with Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, yeah, Lindsay Lohan's making a return, isn't
That's supposed to be her big, comeback.
Yeah, because, I mean, she's tried before. She was in that Liz and Dick film.
Oh.
And that was... Yeah, we did, but it was terrible.
Yeah.
And that wasn't because of Lindsay Lohan, it was just terribly low budget.
This one was basically like a Hallmark film.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like, I think she's found her calling.
Her acting is good, though.
Yeah.
She's not a cheesy actress. She's just, she's a decent actress. So,
yeah, it was enjoyable,
Yeah, it was fine. One that was not fine. Although, maybe watch it anyway, just to, be shocked at how terrible it is. Did you ever look it up and see if it was supposed to be, if it was meant to be that terrible? It was that British one that we watched, also on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
I'll look it up really quick. Okay, I found it.
You found it?
It's Christmas at Mistletoe Farm.
Christmas on Mistletoe Farm.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was trying to be like the Nativity. Do you remember those films?
Oh, yeah.
It had that.
Cute.
Yeah, it had those kind of vibes. But it was kind of like
it was
also trying to do a Hallmark film, but also make fun. Yes.
Well, you thought it was trying to make fun. I mean, it might have been serious.
Yeah, it might have been a serious, concerted effort, but surely not.
It was so...
I could feel like there was some sarcastic kind of overtones there.
It was so cheesy and cringe. You guys, we could barely even finish
Well,
it.
yeah, no, I fell asleep. I don't even remember finishing. You were like, oh, you missed that. And I was like, no, I fell asleep.
Yeah, so there's that. We kind of been watching all the Netflix Christmas movies.
Christmas with You.
Christmas with You with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Freddie Prinze
Where's he
Jr.
been?
Yeah, he's been out there.
And that was really sad because he looks older. I mean, obviously he is, but I just remember him from when I was in school, and he was so...
When he was junior. Now he's just Freddie Prinze.
It was
like
cute.
His dad.
That one wasn't too bad. Also the Noel Diary.
The Noel Diary with Justin Hartley.
Yeah.
From This Is Us. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. A little bit of a kind of a different story instead of just your standard like. But how come in all of these Christmas movies like someone's died? Someone's dead, like there's a single person that needs a match.
Needs a match because they've got a child or something,
Yeah. Yeah. Someone's always dead in these Christmas movies. They're taking
it's like a Disney movie.
They're taking a cue from Disney, I was going to say.
Because someone dies in the movie in Disney, but they're just already dead. And
at the start of the movie, they're just dead.
They need happiness. They need people to find them.
Apparently, you can't find love at Christmas unless someone has died. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh
anyway,
yeah.
Yeah, I think we've talked your ear off of this news roundup.
I think we have. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. We really appreciate your support. Be sure to check us out on social media. Give us a follow if you don't already. We are at TButty, TEABUTTY on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And we'll talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.